It's Absolutely Auburn, a place where we'll talk about all things Auburn, Maine, because we're in the middle of it all. The City of Auburn's communications team is dedicated to helping you connect with city government and learn everything you need to know about Auburn, our city, our people, our events, and our community. Welcome to Absolutely Auburn.
On this episode of Absolutely Auburn, we are providing an update on the comprehensive plan process and where the committee stands on creating a draft vision statement. Welcome back to Absolutely Auburn. I'm your host, Jenn Boenig, and joining me in the studio today are David Hediger, the City of Auburn's Director of Planning, Lauren Caffe, the City of Auburn's Long Range Planner, and John Cleveland, the Chairman of the Comprehensive Plan Committee. And welcome back.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So for our avid podcast listeners, I don't know, maybe all five of you, you might remember this group joined me back in June to talk about the city's comprehensive plan update. And I strongly suggest you listen to that episode because we kind of talked about a lot of the background and the history and the why. So we're not going to delve into all of that in this episode. So definitely, if you want to learn more, listen back to that episode. But just as a quick recap, the comprehensive plan will guide the city's growth, development, and investment over the next 10 years. So, David, can you explain a little more about the committee's process so far on the comprehensive plan update?
Sure, and I'm going to look to John and Lauren here to back me up on this, but I think our first committee meeting was in February, if I remember correctly. So we're up to 7 months? Is that right? 7 months already?
Yeah. It's math.
Yeah, exactly. Just ask anyone. I'm going to have to use my fingers. It's 7 months. So we've had 7 committee meetings so far, and I think they've been very well attended by all the committee members there. And it's been a process of providing updates about all the different public outreach that we've done, both internally, really led by Lauren, and the work that our consultant has done, and really led by Allie on that, as far as getting data inventory analysis leading up to our most recent effort of coming up with a vision statement. So it's been productive. We've had a lot of input. Pleased with where we are at this point, because it's, as we talked about last time, it's kind of hard to get people interested in this thing of zoning and land use and future planning and getting people to think ahead, versus immediate impacts. People react to immediate impacts, but planning for 10 years out can be challenging for folks. So I think we're in a good position at this point.
Let me just clarify, though, that one of our tasks is not zoning.
Great point. That came up at length the other night, right? As far as this is not a zoning document. This is a vision document that will be used later on to develop a zoning ordinance or amend our existing ordinance.
Right. So it might be helping to shape the direction policy may go, but it's not a policy making group. Is that accurate, John?
Correct. It's a plan, long-range plan, to take a look at for the next 10 years or so where the City of Auburn should be looking to grow and to continue to make a strong, viable community here. So the basic things are you do an inventory and analysis. Where are we today? What do we have? What are our assets? What challenges do we have looking forward? Then you use that information, and another piece we'll talk more about, I'm sure, is community input. Very important part. We're making very extensive efforts to reach out to and include the public in this process. We very much want to know where all people in Auburn think we should be going. So that's important. We take all of that information, and as David has said, the committee, with its staff and consultants, develop a vision of where overall arching vision, which we've just completed going through that process, and we'll review the final document at our next meeting. And then from there, we take a look at how should the land in Auburn be used, what would be the most efficient, prudent, and needed changes in the future. And that creates a map that deals with where would you think more growth would be best to be concentrated, where would you think that somewhat limited growth, and then areas where you wouldn't look for much growth at all.
That kind of brings me to the next point. I know when I was poking around on the website again, so we do have a great website that's dedicated to the comprehensive plan update, and you can definitely give your input on that. And one of those cool features, I think, is that interactive map of the city, which you can drop a pin, I guess, so to speak, on a place on the map. And kind of what you're saying, John, if you think this is an area where you would want to focus more development or growth, or is this an area that we should preserve as a natural space, you can do that on this interactive map, which is on the website. And I know, Lauren, I think the last time you were here, we've engaged with everyone from students in the school system to community members to residents. So how are you kind of gathering all of that feedback, and then how are you putting all of that together and informing the plan? I guess. I don't know if I said that well. I probably needed more coffee.
No, that's a really good question. And the question that we've gotten quite a bit from community members is, okay, I've told you what I want to see. Now I hope to see you incorporate that somehow. Barry Dunn has done a fantastic job with our draft vision statement right now, which is a broad, overarching kind of vision for the plan and for Auburn that includes, kind of the average of what we've heard from folks in the city. When it comes to that interactive map, that's a great tool that the committee members will use to say, where should we look to do conservation, or where should we look to grow? That map would also come in handy when we think about policies and actions for the future. So kind of some of those comments on our website right now are really concrete. I want to see a change in this part of the city. I want to see a change in this part of the city. So those comments will be integrated a little bit later on. But a lot of the questions that we asked of community members this summer was, where do you see Auburn in 10 years on a broad basis? And then a lot of folks gave us also really concrete ideas. So broader basis items will be included in the vision statement, whereas those really specific things will integrate into our policies and actions. So it's a plan, and it kind of is like a policy document. It's not a legal document, so it's not zoning, as we've said, but there will be policies and actions that will kind of guide then staff after the comprehensive plan is implemented.
Okay.
And let me just add to that. So all of this information that we gathered, with Lauren taking the lead and helping us get it, last meeting in August, the Comprehensive Plan Committee members got together in a workshop and specifically took a look at visioning by looking at what did the public tell us. Where did they say, what was the things they wanted to keep, what was the things they wanted to improve, in a whole broad range of categories. And the 17-member committee broke up into some groups and went through all of that information and shared their ideas on, summarized part of that was, then got it all together. And the consultants, as Lauren said, brought back a very good, concise vision statement with that. So that vision statement was largely driven by what the public told us they wanted for the next 10 years.
So, John, do we have a draft vision statement that we can share with the group?
Almost. So at our September meeting, 2 days ago, the consultants brought back 2 options on that vision statement. And the committee reviewed them, made some suggestions, and actually gave some thought and direction to sort of melding those 2 together.
Okay.
And that's what the consultant will do. And actually that will be put up on the website so the public can see it and comment on it. And then we will look to finalize it at our October meeting.
Okay.
Just another little subset that's important to the vision statement and to the plan is that within the vision statement, we'll also be working on 2-3 months, policies and actions associated with the vision. In other words, so we got back information that said the community would like better roads, better transportation. So what's the policy in regards to doing that? And what are specific action plans that will be included in this comprehensive plan so that this is a living, working document. And over the next 10 years or so, future city council administrators will look at this to implement and make happen what the citizens of Auburn said they would like to see.
Yeah, I think I'll just reiterate what John was saying for process. So we went from inventory analysis to doing a lot of community engagement. And then our consultants created this great engagement summary of all of that work, which will be posted to our website so you can look at the raw data. And then the committee had that lovely workshop where they took that engagement summary and put it into the vision statement. So it was very much like I think a very collaborative effort between the community and the committee and staff. So.
And
It sounds like
I think it was refreshing, and I'm trying to remember, what was the committee member's name, the woman on the left there? I apologize in advance. But she raised a great comment, and it kind of applied to me as well, because neither one of us were at that meeting where you folks had all the breakout sessions and whatnot. But the document that was produced, both drafts really, we had 17 members in the room, and there seemed to be some good consensus amongst all those folks, given the input we've heard from the public, and getting 17 people to agree on a vision statement. I actually feel it went pretty smooth the other night.
That's fantastic, because when I heard you say 17 people, I was thinking, oh my Lord, how are you ever going to find that common ground? Because lately it doesn't seem like there's a lot of common ground. So kudos to all of you and everyone doing the work on the committee to be able to sit down and have that conversation and really see that you're all kind of working toward the same thing, the same goal, right?
About? I do not know, David. Was it Virginia? No. You wouldn't know even if I said the name.
It might be useful, just very briefly, since we've been talking about community engagement, to share with the public just how extensive that has been.
Yes.
So if you take a look at this community engagement, which has gone on from probably about June, I think, May, June, to August. It will continue to go on, but that was the most intense period. Well, during this period of time, we really have had an extensive effort to reach out. In fact, using a variety of different means, more than 16,000 people have been touched by our request to participate.
Wow.
They include things like a mailing to every address in Auburn with printed material to say, this is what we're doing, this is how you can get involved, here's our survey, you can do it online, you don't have to come to City Hall to do it, please get involved. So that was more than 11,000 mailings just with that. We've had a focus group where we've invited more than 1,500 people to participate, and we've had several open sessions with probably more than 1,500 people. And then in the social media, which we were talking about, almost 1,100 people participated there. Beyond that, Lauren has had a number of meetings with individual groups, middle school students, high school students, people who go to the drop-in center, seniors groups. There's more than about 18 different kinds of groups where we've reached out in one way, either personally or through social media. And that has led up to that 16,000 people who have been touched, and more than 1,700 have actually participated.
That is astounding. Like, I'm shocked. I'm shocked because it is so hard to get people engaged in a positive manner, right? Like, that is fantastic. That's amazing. I love that. So you've got two statements that the group just saw in the last committee meeting here, which was just a couple of days ago. And so you're looking to kind of merge that together to finalize that draft or working vision statement, I guess it would then be, right?
Right.
Once the committee.
Right. So the 17-member committee gave, and there's actually staff involved too, beyond Lauren, the city manager, assistant city manager, planning staff is involved. So everybody had some input, gave some direction to consultants, I think that were pretty clear and useful. and they're going to have a new draft of that at our October meeting. But even before then, it will be up and posted on the website, the dedicated website, where the public can begin to comment on it.
Okay, so, and that's what I was going to ask you, Lauren. Will people be able to see that and make comments here shortly? Maybe it's up now. I didn't notice. I can't remember the last time I went on the site. It was within the last week, but it wasn't like this morning. So
you don't check it every morning.
I don't check it every morning.
I
know. I'm sorry. I don't.
There's new data.
I should, right?
Yes. To John's point, we'll have a draft vision statement up on the website sometime next week, and then in the October meeting, the committee will kind of see what the community has to say, so we can refine that more. So yeah, expect that sometime next week. I'll also be emailing folks that have joined our mailing list, as well as sending it out to all city staff for comments, as well as other groups in the community. So
fantastic.
We'll be getting an email from me most likely next week.
So we will be looking for that internally. So, I mean, that's, John, to your point, the engagement piece. I mean, like I said, kudos to all of you. And everyone that's kind of worked on this, because that's hard work, like I said, to get people engaged in a positive way. And it sounds like you have done everything and anything to get people to participate. So how, John, as you're working through this process, what's the goal for the committee to kind of present a final plan or draft of the plan to the council, to all of us, I guess?
Mm-hmm. So during October and November meetings, and probably somewhat into December, we're going to be focusing on the land use piece of the ordinance. And we're going to do it fairly meticulously and carefully to do that. And associated with that, we'll also be talking about those policies and actions for implementation that I discussed earlier. We hope that by January we'll have a draft of that available. That will be made public to the public so they can comment on that as well. And we're going to have an engagement program during that period as well. We'll work out the details of that, but we'll have an engagement program for the public as well. So January, February, probably we'll be working on that part of it, and there'll be input coming in. The committee will make some adjustments as we go through that, with the goal of finalizing it in sort of about April, and as a draft, a final draft, and having it ready for the city council to review and adopt when they're ready to, in June of 2026.
Wow.
John's on his game here. I mean, he's nailed it.
He's been studying.
Yeah, he's stealing the thunder from me and Lauren here. So this is good.
That's our chair.
That's right. Well run.
That's good.
And perhaps you might sense, the public might sense from our discussion here, that there's a lot of work in between the monthly meetings that goes on. Mm-hmm. We have full-time staff that's working on it, consultants that are working on it, and what I call the leadership team have a couple of meetings in between our monthly meetings to prepare, so that when we go to the whole committee, we use their time effectively, we're well prepared, there's something substantive for them to react to act, to give some guidance on, to do that. So I think that helps making those meetings quite effective and useful.
Absolutely, because nobody wants to feel like they're spinning their wheels. So it sounds like like I said, it sounds like you're doing all the right things. You're on the right track. So again, kudos to the committee, the staff, everyone who's working on this. You're moving it forward.
Let me make another clarification. Though this is a planning document primarily, it also has legal standing. So within state statute, when you're doing comprehensive planning and then later at some future point amending or adopting some zoning applications, the comprehensive plan becomes the platform, the foundation on which in the future zoning has to be consistent with, so that the direction set by the community in this group, ultimately adopted by the City Council, will be the legal platform on which the community can then establish in the future amended or changed zoning.
Okay,
So it has an important legal basis. In fact, if there should be some conflict, back when I was mayor, back along, when we went through a comprehensive plan, the council at the time wanted to make some changes to the zoning, and they had a majority vote, and they did.
Mm-hmm.
There were citizens who didn't think that it was consistent with the comprehensive plan at the time, took it to court, and the court said, it is not consistent. What you did was not legal. I voided the judge.
Oh, okay.
So,
wow.
So it has an important basis legally on what you establish for what you're going to do going forward.
Now, you can make changes or amendments to that plan, though, because obviously I know things can shift over time, and obviously, John, as you pointed out, council members will come and go, and people bring their own thoughts and ideas with them. So how, and David, I'm kind of looking at you, how can you make changes to try to make sure you are still going in the right direction, but not ignoring the work that's been done?
That can be a challenge. I mean, ideally, this is a plan of the community. It's not necessarily a plan from the elected officials, right? So in an ideal world, this document is crafted by, staff and consultants, but it's a vision of the community. So counselors, elected officials hopefully embrace that, and they recognize that, hey, this is the vision for the next 10, 12 years, what it may be. That's not to say that changes couldn't happen over that period. I mean, we've talked about it, just housing, right? Housing is a much different discussion now than it was 10 years ago, even 5 years ago. State law changes that have occurred with respect to housing wouldn't even been considered 10 years ago. And that's having implications throughout the state and in our own community. So there will be times potentially where a comp plan does need to be amended within that 10-year period because something has happened within your community. So we don't discourage that, but ideally you want some continuity and consistency for that period of time.
Right.
As much for the community and staff and neighborhoods, because they want to know, hey, this is what my neighborhood is envisioned to be like. We don't want to have something change every couple of years. People are looking for consistency. And they don't, again, I mentioned earlier, people don't really pay attention to this until it's something in their backyard. And so through this process, if we can get people involved, make them realize what the long-term vision is once the plan is adopted, hopefully they continue to be involved, because there will be a boatload of zoning changes, ordinance changes, policy changes, and that's really where the rubber hits the road then at that point, as far as how is my neighborhood going to be developed? How is this area going to grow for economic development purposes? Is there going to be traffic and infrastructure improvements? That's all going to be discussed at a high level with this plan, but then we're going to have to implement it.
Right. And let's face it, change is inevitable. Things change, people change, the environment may change. Some of it may be within our control, some of it might not be. So that's a great point, that changes can be made depending on kind of some of those other factors.
And the goal really, you always hear people like in municipal planning world, like they do a plan, they spend all this time and effort and money on it, and then it sits on a shelf.
Yeah.
Don't want that to happen.
Right.
Anything that we're involved here, we want to hopefully see get implemented. And ideally, we would be able to report on that on a yearly basis, saying, hey, we've done this, we've right. shown progress. That's good for the community. It's good for elected officials. It's good for staff to actually show that our efforts are moving forward, that we didn't go through this exercise just because we had to.
Well, and I know, too, the comprehensive plan also shapes kind of a strategic, a strategic plan that the city manager and council would kind of follow as well. And I know, the work that we do, it all ties back to that information, because as you said, John, it's what the overall community has said that they want to see happen. So then, right, how do we take that information and then do the work to kind of make that a reality, I guess. So
and that's where the action plan comes in. Very specific direction to say this kind of infrastructure is going to be built, or this amount of new water and sewer systems, that kind of thing. And going back to what David said, one of the ways to make sure that it's not just sitting on the shelf is that annually the mayor and council, through the budgeting process and through the goals set for the manager and his staff, actually have a review of how that's going. And frankly, I think maybe we might even suggest it in the comp plan, is that there should be an annual report. How did we do this year?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And yeah, exactly.
I'm writing that down, John.
Lauren's taking notes on here. I love it. So looking forward to seeing these draft vision statements come up here on the website, and you'll talk about that more and kind of finalize that at the October meeting. So definitely make sure that you're looking on the website. And you'll also notice within the next couple of weeks, the city's website will look different as well. So that's going to be exciting too. But you'll be able to still find the comprehensive plan work on the website, regardless of what it looks like. Just look for the comprehensive plan update logo. That'll be front and center on whatever the website may look like here. I don't want to give away too much because we're super excited about it.
I might share with the public. We've changed dates of the November and December meeting. Generally, we've been meeting on the fourth Tuesday of every month. But in November, of course, we have the Thanksgiving holiday, so it's been agreed, since our regular meeting would fall very close to Thanksgiving, that we would meet on November 18th. And in December, again, because our regular meeting would meet very close to Christmas, we'd meet on December 16th. So that's the week before. I think those are on Wednesdays.
Still Tuesdays.
Still Tuesdays. So just a week earlier then because of the holiday schedule. And yeah, we will also have on the website, there will be a calendar, and so you'll be able to kind of see the dates of upcoming meetings as well. So I don't know if you remember, but back in June, I usually ask everyone what their favorite thing about Auburn is, but I've already asked you guys that. So I thought I would change it up just a little bit and ask you what's been your favorite part of the comprehensive plan process so far. And whomever would like to go first, because I can't answer that question.
I like talking to the public. It's interesting to hear their perspective. I like hearing the history of how things may have occurred, or where a community developed, or how it developed and whatnot. Think of one conversation I had with a couple who owns land on Court Street by the middle school, and it was their grandparents' property maybe, or something like that. Now it's just totally undeveloped, like in their lifetime, and how they've seen it just change to a more suburban area and whatnot, and how they can remember it being a dirt road and everything. And that's kind of like, hey, it's interesting history. It's kind of fun hearing that, and then their perspective as to how the community or that area should continue to grow, and what it may look like. So interacting with the public, I always enjoy that.
I particularly enjoyed two interrelated activities. One has been, as David suggested, the community input, looking at and working with them, going to the public sessions, having focus groups, and having a chance to interact with the public and to see what their thoughts are. As usual, what I've learned is that if you listen to other people, you'll learn some things. And I did learn some things that I'm not aware of, and now I am more aware of it. So I enjoyed that a great deal. The second part interrelated to that is then working with our comprehensive plan committee, the members appointed by the council as well as staff members and professionals on it, working to put all of this process together and to make some positive decisions going forward.
Oh man, this is a hard one for me. That's why I wanted to go last. I think it's been really special for me to start with the city of Auburn just as they're doing their comprehensive plan, because it's allowed me to go out into the community and really learn about the community in ways that I don't think I would have been able to if I had started at a different time and was doing a different task. And so I guess to repeat David and John, my favorite part has been meeting people from all different, backgrounds, and to see the ways that they interact with their own spaces. They're all in the city of Auburn, the 65, whatever miles of it, and they are interacting with space and place differently than other people. And so I've learned something every time I've talked with someone. They've, made me question my own beliefs and understandings just by the way they're interacting with their everyday life. So that's been really, really cool just to see the kind of diversity of people in the city. And I'm excited to kind of see that the plan, and as it's been now the vision statement, it's cool to see all this like crystallize, I guess, and come together. So yeah, that's probably been my favorite part so far.
And I'll be sure to put in the show notes again where you can find more information on the website, how you can reach out to David and Lauren if you want to, how you can reach out to John as the chair of the committee, and all of the committee members' names I know are also listed on the website as well. If you wanted to reach out to a particular committee member because you know them personally and have a relationship with them, certainly do that. And of course, people can always reach out to the mayor and the council as well, because everybody is a part of this process in some way. So thank you for coming back in and giving us an update. We'll probably see you all again in maybe January. What do we think?
Yeah,
does that sound good? Yeah. We can do another check-in and kind of see where we're at in the process. And for those of you who do listen to the podcast, like I said, all 5 of you.
No,
I'm just kidding.
30 some odd hits or something.
Let's get those numbers up, you guys.
I appreciate not being asked how I want to be the mayor too.
Yeah,
that was good.
I'll admit, I'll put it out in the universe. I slacked off a little bit this summer. Took some time off from the podcast, even though I love it and I love talking to people and learning new things. So getting back into the studio now. I am committed to releasing at least an episode every month just to keep folks informed of different things going on. We do have a lot of things going on, actually. And so now I'm kind of trying to juggle, how am I going to pace all that in the next couple of months? So we might do more than one episode a month, but we'll see. And it's the end of September, so the 1st of October is next week. And actually, October is Manufacturing Month in Maine. So, and Auburn is home to manufacturers, both large and small. We definitely have a large manufacturing industry here. So our October episode, we'll be talking with Jay Brunchick and some other folks from the state about Manufacturing Month, and there'll be some tours here in Auburn as well at some of our locations. So I'm definitely excited to learn a little more about that. So I just wanted to share that with everyone before we wrap up. And John, I think I might have cut you off. Did you want to add one more thing?
Well, there's 2 or 3 events coming up that I think that are important to know about, and relates to how we keep the City Council and the Planning Board up to date. So on October 6th, we'll be making a presentation to the City Council on where we are, what we've accomplished, and what's coming up. So we don't just wait till the end and say, here's the plan.
Surprise.
Yeah. And we'll be doing the same with the Planning Board, I believe, on October 14th. And then I've been asked by the LA Senior College to present a course on comprehensive planning.
Oh, actually, wow.
Which I'll be doing November 18th. At the Auburn Public Library. It's open to the public. I think they're also going to be Zooming it as well. But if you went to LA College and you were interested, you could sign up, and it's going to be a one-day summary of comprehensive planning, what it is, why it's important, and how people can get involved.
That's fantastic.
That's fantastic. Can I go, John? If I did go to
You're not
LA,
old enough.
I'm not old enough. I might learn
I think
something.
anyone can go, right?
Maybe.
Arrange your schedule. And
I'll have my people talk to your people.
It's work. It's work, right? You can work that into your day or evening. That's fantastic, John. I love that. Well, thanks again for coming in and sharing, and like I said, lots of things to look forward to here in the next couple of months.
Well, thank you for this opportunity to continue our efforts to keep the public informed and encourage them to be engaged.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for joining us on Absolutely Auburn. You can find all things Auburn, Maine at auburnmaine.gov and goauburn.me. You can also listen to us anytime, anywhere you get your podcasts, including Apple and Google Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and iHeartRadio, just to name a few. The City of Auburn's communications team wants to remind you that Absolutely Auburn is the only official podcast for the City of Auburn, Maine.